Well, fortunately for me, I am a huge fan of blankets and hoodies. So I imagine that I would be quite ensconced in soft hoodies and blankets and a really soft fuzzy socks to keep myself warm.
I need fire. I gotta burn stuff. We've got an old rocking horse in the garage, and I think that's gonna have to go in the fireplace. We've had it a long time, but it's old anyway, and I think I've just found a better use for it.
Ooh, to stay warm. Well, it is really cold out, and so obviously with no electricity, staying warm is the biggest concern. Thankfully, I have a fireplace, and so that's going to get cranked on, and I have a lot of warm, cozy down blankets, and so I'll be piling under those and probably curling up with a good book by candlelight is my guess as I try to pass the time the next couple of days.
Well, also fortunately, I'm a huge fan of candles. I probably have about 7 in my bedroom. So I would most likely take those out and then find all the rest of the candles throughout my house and just light them.
For lights, I'm probably going to let God's light guide my sleep and wake patterns for the next few days since I don't have any electricity. And we do have an emergency kit that has a flashlight, and I've got candles all over the house. But other than that, you know, I'll be awake and doing things when the sun's up, and like they did back in the good old days, when the sun goes down, I will too. And I'll just make the best of the darkness.
We don't have a whole lot of candles, and I know already that my flashlight is broken. So I think the only thing to do for light is use the light that God gave us, and when that light is gone at the end of the day, I sit in darkness. And you know what? It'll probably help me sleep better if I'm going to bed at a good hour because I can't stay up late.
It is going to be boring. That's an excellent question. I like to knit and do other things with my hands. I also like to draw, so most likely I'll be entertaining myself with either of those, or I might just actually pick up my other habit of writing. Maybe something amazing will come out of this adventure.
It is not going to be boring. I am a mother of 3 young children. I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and an almost 1-year-old. And so doing nothing is a luxury that I never have. I will be fine. I will be fine for the next few days doing absolutely nothing. It's going to be like a little snow vacation for me.
Yeah, burning things is always fun. But you know what? It might be isolating, but I don't know that it would be boring. I'm a musician, and if you have enough instruments around, it's hard to ever get bored. So I'd probably do some songwriting or do something like that. But as long as I've got it with me there in the house, I don't know that I'd get all that bored. Maybe after a week I'd get bored, but that'd be more from social isolation than lack of things to do.
I would feel miserable. Part of why I'm really good at my job is I love interacting with people. I am an introvert, surprisingly, so I think the first couple days it might not be so terrible, but probably by the 3rd day of no contact, I'd be a pretty unhappy girl.
That's a little disconcerting. You always want to be able to reach people if you need to, but I know that they're safe, and they know that I'm safe for the time being, so you know, I don't really have a choice. You just make the best of it and wait for the power to come back on so I can plug that sucker back in.
Not being able to communicate with my family would be really, really hard. Not so much for me if I knew that they were safe and fine, but I think for them, I think they'd be worried about me and wanting to stay connected. And I do think it would just be very, very isolating. I think when I've been in other snowstorms before, it does kind of seal things off for a while, and I think that'd be really hard, not knowing what's going on in the outside world. Not even knowing how, rescue efforts are going, if there are people who need to be rescued or whatever. I think it would be a very lonely feeling.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know how far you want to delve into it, but I think it would be a really interesting experience because I think if you take away everything that we have, the only thing that we have left is our ability to communicate with God. So I think it would actually be quite a prayerful, meditative experience where there might be some talking out loud straight to God because no one's there to hear it, but it might not be so terrible in the end. I might learn a lot about myself as a whole.
Oh, probably at this point I'm wishing that I had taken part in Girl Scouts and was prepared for this sort of thing. I am a city girl through and through. So, yeah, it's been an interesting experience trying to survive this on my own, but made it.
I don't know. This is a horrible scenario.
Good grief, this is the longest blizzard ever.
I don't think so. I think depending on how long things lasted, if food started running out, I could kill the dog. It's like, I know that Shackleton went to the South Pole to try to reach the South Pole, and his ship became encased in ice, and they did their best to survive on the rations they had, and then after a while the sled dogs had to go. So I guess if things get really desperate, I love my golden lab, but if it's her or me, she looks delicious.
Thanks very much. That's all I got.